Welcome to War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, coming to you every week from deep within the Outer Rim, far beyond the watchful ice of the Galactic Empire. Join your hosts, John Mark Tolley, Garrett K. Jones, and Brian Karasik, as they discuss the various facets of the saga's lore, characters, review the films, and discuss every tidbit of news coming out of Lucasfilm. And remember, this isn't just my Star Wars, this isn't just your Star Wars, this is our Star Wars.
Hello, it is indeed our Star Wars. Welcome once again to War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. I am Mark Tolley. Joining me, as always, is my co-host Garrett K. Jones. And Garrett, how are things out in Central Cali?
Nice. Like the weather is like super cool. Like it was like 49 degrees or something like that this morning. Ooh. It was like super nice. It was overcast most of the day. It's supposed to rain tonight, and we're gonna have rain most of tomorrow. I am loving this. This is like,
I know it was.
It's been perfect.
Yeah, it was in the 60s today. I was able to mow the grass, mow the yard today. It rained a little bit here, not much, but we're needing it. We are in the middle of a drought here. So yeah, that's what's going on. By the way, just a heads up, if you, for all audience out there too, if you hear yelling, that is my wife. She is watching football currently, and she tends to get a little excited sometimes. So,
I can appreciate
that. Just fair warning. Just
So I got to do something really fun today. So I had the day off from work because of Columbus Day.
Me too.
But I got to do an interview with another local author. She does a podcast, and she's a big Star Wars fan. And as part of it, we actually ended up playing a game of Crazy Eights with this wonderful little Star Wars deck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cool. Like instead of your standard suits, the cards are color coded. So like red is Sith, and the face cards have actual Sith Lords on them. Green is Jedi. Blue is Rebels, and I think orange is Rebels, and gray or silver is Empire.
Nice.
Yeah, with like the logos and everything. So instead of like spades, you've got Sith tattoos.
Nice.
I'm digging this. Like I don't know where this set. She said that she got it at like a dollar store. I'm loving it. But she made a whole box of these pins for me with my GKJ Publishing logo. She actually did an updated version of it for me, and it was so cool. It's so cool.
That is sweet. That is awesome.
Yeah, like a bunch of pins, and then she. Let's see. There's a keychain that she gave me.
Oh, nice.
And then a couple of them are. Oh, I know they're in here somewhere. A couple of them are magnetized. They're magnetized bottle openers. So I'm really stoked by this. It was a lot of fun, and then I got to see Tron Ares today.
Oh, we're talking. That's one of our. We're gonna. Me and the wife are planning on doing a date night.
So
getting a hotel and watching it. And
nice. I will say this: don't go into it expecting any information about the bridging between Tron Legacy and this one. There's like very minimal information there, but and there's been a lot of flack on YouTube from some commentators about the way the movie plays out, but I liked it for what it was. I didn't see any wokeness to it. The effects were really great. A lot of the in-camera stuff was really cool. There's some stuff on the like when they're doing like the motorcycle chases and stuff where it's all done in practical in-camera effects.
Oh, nice.
So I really appreciated that. And then this is probably like the least obnoxious character that Jared Leto has ever played. So that says something.
Yeah.
I mean, Jodie Turner-Smith, who played in The Acolyte, she's in it, and I mean, she's all right. I mean, she comes in and does her part, but her acting is about as energetic as it was in The Acolyte. So, let that be what it is.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, the movie was fun. The soundscape is great. The visuals are pretty cool, and I just, my biggest beef is like with all the cool music that was produced for the movie by Nine Inch Nails. I wish more of it was included in the soundscape, in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Other than that, I very much enjoyed it.
Good.
And had fun with it.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been, as I kind of said off before we got on here, I've been doing the single dad thing for the weekend. My wife was at a festival up in Indiana. Her and her girlfriends go to it every year, so she had a lot of fun. Came back and got some Christmas shopping done. Got some food up there. She always gets food, food is good, especially good food.
What'd you have?
Well, she brought back some popcorn, some like cheddar, like cheesy popcorn, and another one that's with a cheese and caramel corn mix together.
Ooh. Oh yeah, those are good.
They make like, and this isn't like your Twizzler ropes. These are like the actual strawberry flavored, like thick style licorice ropes, but not licorice flavored, like the ones that are like big and thick, like
yeah, like kind of like the strawberry or
yeah.
cherry.
Now this is something I don't know how you feel about it, but I like them. She brought back some pork rind, homemade pork rinds. Not a fan. I like them, and then some homemade pickles. One is a spicy garlic. And the other one were a ranch dill mix.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I would probably enjoy using, like, especially like the spicy garlic one or whatever, using that one for like sandwiches.
Oh, that would be really good. Oh, and then she got Lily. They sell these like basically freeze-dried Skittles.
I've seen those. I've never had them. It's never been something I've enjoyed.
They're really interesting. They taste like Skittles, but when you put them in your mouth, they almost instantly like kind of melt.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like I've had freeze-dried fruit before, like freeze-dried peach slices and freeze-dried ice cream, and it has that weird like styrofoamy texture.
That's kind of what this has. It got that styrofoam texture to it. But Lily loves them, so.
Oh, I bet.
And then she brought back a bunch of like decoration stuff, because that's basically what this thing is. It's like the knick-knack stores and flea market type stuff, and but a little bit more high end. So yeah,
that's cool.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Hyperdrives.
We're
doing another tech talk.
We are.
But not on TikTok.
Or are we? No, we're not. We are not on the talks of the ticks.
No, we are not.
We're not that cool.
Well, maybe I'm not. You're pretty dope, man. You're pretty dope.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, we're talking Hyperdrive, the way that the Star Wars people in the Star Wars universe get from one planet to the other, and it not take several years.
Yes.
So so when was the first time Hyperdrive was mentioned? Oh, it was in New Hope, wasn't it? Didn't he say traveling through hyperspace? He says hyperspace.
Well, they obviously. Let me see here. What is the first mention of the hyperdrive in Star Wars? First mention in canon is the first mention in film was in Phantom Menace.
Okay, but
in 1999.
right.
But the idea of hyperdrives was it was intrinsic into
right. Well, I mean, because he also said it because doesn't one of the droids or C-3PO says something about the hyperdrive motivator in Empire because they're trying to fix the hyperdrive motivator.
Let me see here. Yeah. Yeah. Hyperdrive motivator is the essential component of a hyperdrive. Without a functioning motivator, it is impossible for a starship to achieve light speed by entering hyperspace. Yeah. Okay. Yep. It is mentioned in Empire Strikes Back. Let me see here. I'm looking at just the general information on the hyperdrive. References include sources, the role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things here because they're pulling as much content as possible. I'm just looking for the films. There's so much content, so much. Wow. Because oh my goodness. Let's see. The Imperial Handbook mentions it. I can't see where it's at. Okay, yeah. So it is mentioned in Star Wars, the original film. It's mentioned in Clone Wars. It's mentioned throughout most of the video or visual content.
Well, so it's one of those things that's kind of a backbone to the franchise. It's how people get around. It's the warp drive of Star Wars. It's something that.
The nice thing about it is that unlike Star Trek, where they spend a lot of time trying to explain how the physics and the science behind it, it's just you just get this is the thing that makes it happen.
And that's the thing with a lot of things, tech. When we're talking Star Wars tech, is it just is. It's just wave your hands and don't look over here. Look over there type of a thing with a lot of Star Wars tech. It's like it works because it needs to work. You don't need to know how it works. It just,
Yep. So long as you understand that it exists, it's there.
Pay no attention to the man behind the screen.
Right. So, what's interesting is there have been references to where it's called a warp drive, but they don't go through warp because, in Star Trek, there's a huge difference. Like in Star Trek, warp is going beyond the speed of light, which, from a physics perspective, is impossible.
Yeah. They explain it with a warp drive. You have the warp bubble, and it creates almost like a wave, so the ship basically surfs. So that's how they're able to get around all the physics of the time dilation of
space time. Yeah. This one is different because what this does is it open instead of move, because what the warp bubble does is it moves space around the ship rather than the ship actually moving through space. In this case, what the hyperdrive does, the way the physics of it is that it kind of opens like a break in time in space time and allows you to go faster than light in hyperspace. It's basically like another plane of existence above normal space. And then because they always talk about dropping out of, so that gives that sense that hyperspace is like in a plane above and beyond.
It's a separate. It almost looks like a wormhole.
Yeah,
Type of a thing. Yeah.
And the only other thing that I've seen there's probably other sci-fi franchises and stories out there that use something similar, but the only other thing that I find that's close enough to it is in the Halo franchise. They have what's called a slip space drive, which is what they use for FTL. And for those of you who are not familiar with what FTL stands for, that means faster than light travel. Because what slip space does is it opens essentially a wormhole and uses that idea of passing through non-normal space or non-linear space into some kind of other liminal dimension to get from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it an instantaneous jump rather than cruising for, as you said, years and years and years.
Yeah. Now, it is interesting how it does, in so many ways, it works similar to warp in one sense of you can't use it near a planetary body. Like,
yeah, you have to get away from you have to get a certain distance away from.
You have to get outside the gravitational pull.
Right. Because otherwise you're still stuck within that gravitational field. And if you enter into hyperspace from that field, you could actually create essentially a black hole because the gravitational mass will just implode upon itself.
Yeah. Which is why the interdictor cruisers were so dangerous, successful. Yeah.
Wait, was it the interdictor or was it the yeah, it was the interdictor because they had the gravity well generators.
Yeah, they use gravity wells to pull ships out of hyperspace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is the hyperspace is kind of just the use of it it's a MacGuffin that allows for instantaneous travel. It's kind of like, just like with anything, it's the what's the word I'm looking for? It is the video games have started adapting something similar where you can do like the instant travel from point A to point B without having to actually physically go through it because you've already opened that gateway. Like one of the things that they've done with in more recent Star Wars games like the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor is that you could theoretically go to a just jump from planet to planet that way it saves load time.
Yeah. Have you played the game Star Wars Combine online?
Star Wars what?
Star Wars Combine. It's online. It's online. It's been on for like I think 1999. So it's almost as internet. But it's real time. And one thing I think is really cool is when you're traveling to these planets, like if it says like if in universe it would take 3 days to travel to something in the Star Wars universe in hyperspace, it literally takes 3 days to travel there in the game, like in real life. So you type on and you're just, but it's a lot. It's text. A lot of it's text based with like basic pictures and that's fun, cool. But it is a very much it's an investment as far as time goes.
I'm sure
because you have a lot of time where you're like traveling from one to another. Okay, that's going to take 4 days. Well, I'll just wait here for 4 days.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my old RPG game master book, and what's interesting is they're talking about they took a look at the like astrogation for the ship to ship or the planet to planet travel and stuff like that. And now these are system to system, and these are based on what I'm seeing here. The astrogate, it says you use this chart for the most common travel times. These numbers are for direct system to system travel. Characters may find it is quicker to travel to intermediary systems as a shortcut. All of these numbers assume a moderate difficulty for the astrogation total. The character should be forewarned that Imperial patrols are known to frequent common hyperspace routes. So these take into account hyperspace. So like Alderaan to Bespin is an 8-hour trip, whereas Alderaan to Dagobah is 30 hours. Endor would be 18 hours. But they're kind of listed. They're limited on which planets you're able to go to, because because in this case they only had a limited number. They had Bespin, Selenon, Corellia, Alderaan, Coruscant, Dagobah, Dantooine, Endor, Gamor, Liana, Sullust, and Tatooine. It doesn't even deal with Hoth or some of those other planets.
Yeah.
So,
that always brings me to one question: how big is the Star Wars galaxy? Like if you were compare it to the Milky Way, because if you see a show like Star Trek, where you have the show Voyager, where it's stuck in a different quadrant.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up a chart. Now, keep in mind, there's various different versions of the Star Wars galaxy map. The one I'm pulling up is specifically from Wikipedia, or not Wikipedia, Wookieepedia. I want the full size render, please. Full size. So let's see here. So this is the full size render. Go away. There we go. So you can see off to the left, we've got the unknown regions like Octo and Exegol. So this has obviously been updated through the episode 9. And then we've got the mid-rim, and then we've got the core colonies. So we've got Corellia and Coruscant and Kuat near the core. But then we've got Jakku, Jeddah, Ord Mantell, Onderon, Pisana, which is weird because these are all like mid-rim planets, but they don't feel like mid-rim planets because there's very little anything. Batu is in there. We've got Endor and Kef Bir, down near the bottom. Bespin and Hoth. Mustafar is like all the way out near the outer rim. Dagobah, Utapau are outer rim. Savarine, Dakar, Crate, Sullust, Malister. And here's the weird thing. Like, looking at this, I am not surprised that, the opening of The Last Jedi has what was happening on with the not the rebellion, but the resistance. They're trying to get to Crate, which is all the way down here in the bottom. And where were they flying from?
Wherever their last base was. It was the base that was on Force Awakens. They're leaving from there.
Okay. That base was on Dakar. Okay, so Dakar is right here, and they were flying to Crate. All right.
Wow.
And so, that is a very, based on this, it's a very short distance.
And
they were running out of fuel. Which is very, very weird, considering the fact that they had no problem going to other planets to, lickety split without any issues.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, this idea of fuel only comes up in 2 movies: Solo and Last Jedi. Everyone else doesn't seem to give a rip about fuel.
Yep. Because they need it for a plot device.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like there's so much, like we kind of said, there's so much in the Star Wars universe that needs to be an issue isn't really an issue. It's just kind of wave
Right.
your hands and you know, and I don't know how much of that is people, nerds doing nerd thing of like, well, we want to know how it works and give us an
Right.
explanation, and then they're like, okay, here.
But see, then there's this one right here, and I'm going to share this tab with you.
Okay.
And this image has a completely different layout to the galaxy.
Yeah.
Like it's more or less very similar as far as the placement, but the outer rim, like, it's way more populated.
Yeah.
Way more populated. And then Ilum's all the way out here, so they're actually listing Ilum. But then, like, some of the planets that were listed in that other map that I showed before are not listed where they were before. Because like Mustafar was like over here, and now it's over here. And it's like, make up your mind. We need like an official map of the galaxy to kind of figure this out, because we've got too many different variations to make sense of any of it.
Yeah. I find it interesting, going back to hyperspace, that you seem to have almost highways. Like they've got specific hyperspace, like they say, space lanes that are kind of these set, kind of almost like faster than light highways that connect that.
Yeah. Well, they've got hyperspace lanes that the hyperspace lanes are mainly, like, the point and purpose was to be able to travel with, it's a known trajectory. You punch in those coordinates, you get within a certain distance of that lane, and you can travel it without any issues, without hitting any interstellar bodies or having to really worry about, making adjustments to your navigational coordinates.
Yeah. Which is also, I mean, you in a sense, like, really on that, traveling at faster light speed, traveling at hyperspace at this is not just something that you just press a button and go. It's like, okay, no, you need like high, really high tech computers to map out a plot your course so that you're not running into things and not and that's the other thing is you can't change course once you're in hyperspace, can you? Like, you're
As far as
stuck.
I'm aware, no, you can't.
Like, yeah.
Which kind of makes sense, because you really don't want to. I mean, like, because every jump has to be very precise. What you can do is you can cancel it out, you can drop out, but doing so at that kind of an acceleration, because like the system requires, so much time to get there, that to drop out it's like being at 75, 80 miles an hour and not downshifting your manual engine.
Yeah.
It's just going to wreck it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Yeah. What else do we got about the hyperdrive?
I don't know. I mean, like, see, this is where I really wish we had Brian back, because he's got so much knowledge that he could have thrown in some random stuff for us, and that would have created a way bigger discussion.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of the tech. I think we're going to have this problem with a lot of the tech. It's fun to talk about, but
hypothetically, there's not a whole lot, because nothing's really explained.
Yeah, because a lot of it is just used for
plot
device, and there's things that need to be, yeah.
What's interesting though is, like, the hyperdrives themselves, like they're weird, like they're a weird component. Like here's like have you like the picture that they have from Wikipedia. This is what it looks like, and this is based on what you see in the background behind Obi-Wan Kenobi in Phantom Menace, because this is the first time we actually see a hyperdrive. This is the T-14. Okay. And this is the Hyperdrive Generator. This is part of where it plugs into the system. It doesn't look, I mean, it looks like technology, but it doesn't look like an engine component. It doesn't look like something that you would actually like. It looks like some kind of weird, mural that someone slapped a lightsaber into the side of.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't, I would not have, like, if you told me that this was the part, the part of the ship that made interstellar travel at light speed possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would be like, okay, right, whatever. Because it's not very big. Like, I mean, two people can literally like use a cart to push it up onto the ramp. Like the slip space drives. I'm pulling up the image of that. Slip space drive fits on the back of a freaking truck, man. Like, this is a picture from. So the picture I'm bringing up is from an episode from a scene in Halo Reach. Do you see what's on the screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this right here, this whole thing modded onto this dropship is a slip space drive, and what they do is they actually rig it on a Covenant ship so that it will that when they activate it, it'll basically create a slip space bubble inside the ship instead of around the ship and destroy it. And this is what the drive looks like by itself. And these are not easy. These are huge. Like here's another version of it. It's on the back of an 18-wheeler. They're not small things. Meanwhile, you've got this thing that Obi-Wan Kenobi easily stands next to.
Yeah.
And it's like
almost looks like something you could just hold, like, I don't know how big they are, but can just like hold up and like stick it in and like,
right?
Yeah. Like an old floppy disk almost.
Now a T-14. So, okay. So the Hyperdrive Generator for a starfighter is roughly about 24 inches by 18 inches.
Okay, so about
that's 2 feet by a foot and a half. For something the size of a fighter jet. That's not very big.
No. But you'd want something small. I think, I mean, but at the same time, you want something small, to be able to, small and compact, to be able to fit into a one-person starfighter.
Yeah, that's true. And there's also, but it says here, like the Millennium Falcon's hyperdrive is reportedly twice the size of a stock YT 1300 freighter's engine. So that begs the question: how big is the engine for a YT 1300 freighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't give me any dimensions.
Of course not.
Hooray. Oh, hold up. I think I found something. The dimensions. So the dimensions on no, it doesn't give me the dimensions on the engine itself. It just gives me the dimensions on the ship, which is 37.5 meters. Oh, here we go. Sublight engine. Again, no dimensions. Doggone it, Wikipedia. You keep failing me. This is what happens when we have no consistent use of canon. I blame George Lucas.
Sounds fair.
Yep. Mainly because he put Kathleen Kennedy in charge. So, yeah. But so basically, there is something here that I found that talks about how a hyperdrive functions and how it works. So you need to have hypermatter fuel, which apparently from Solo it's called Coaxium. The hyperdrive uses hypermatter like Coaxium to generate the energy needed to reach light speed and jump to hyperspace. The ship jumps into hyperspace, an alternate dimension, to travel faster than light. Mass shadows. Gravity from planets and other large objects create mass shadows in hyperspace. Ships must have their course precisely calculated to avoid these shadows, as a collision would be catastrophic. Or as Al Gore would say, catastrophic. Then there's the inertial dampers. These are essential to protect the ship and crew from being crushed by the immense acceleration when jumping in and out of hyperspace. And then you got the hyperdrive ratings, which are rated by class, with a lower number indicating a faster engine. Military and government ships typically have faster, lower class drives than civilian vessels. So the lower the number, the faster it goes. The higher the number, the slower it goes.
Okay. That makes sense.
And then it talks about the limitations and risks. Malfunction. A hyperdrive malfunction can be dangerous, potentially stranding a ship, causing it to crash, or sending it into an unintended location in space or even another dimension. Jumping to hyperspace without proper coordinates is risky and can lead to collisions or stranding. Unless, of course, you're Poe Dameron, at which point you just do light speed skipping like that's a thing. And then interdict your cruisers, as you mentioned, create artificial gravity wells that prevent other vessels from entering or remaining in hyperspace, effectively blocking hyperspace travel in a sector.
Nice.
Yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. But I'm tapped.
I am too. I think maybe we can do like just a quick little thing of talking about, since it's spooky season. Maybe some of our favorite.
We are going to be talking. We do have a spooky season episode in 2 weeks.
We do. Okay, well, let's
because we're going to be talking about the monsters of the galaxy.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that one. But that's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, because we will be not doing a episode next week. I am going to be having some minor surgery done next Monday, so I will be tapped out for that week, for that day, probably for a while, probably for most of the week. I'm hoping to be back the week after that. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear and see how I am feeling.
Yes, for those of you who are concerned what kind of minor surgery, he's having implants into his biceps because he wants to look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson without having to do all the steroids.
That's right. I want to be, no. Yeah. I got to learn how to do the eyebrow. I can't figure out how to do that. And refer to myself in the third person constantly.
Yes, your new nickname is going to be the Boulder.
The Pebble.
Have you seen that episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No, I don't think I've watched any Avatar.
Okay, so in season 2, or it's called Book 2, Earth, when Aang and the gang are meeting Toph Beifong, who the episode's called the Blind Bandit, and basically Toph is I'm giving something away that's been out for almost 20 years. But Toph is a blind earthbender who's about the age of 10 or 11, maybe. And she when they introduce her as the blind bandit, like she destroys this professional league of earthbenders. It kind of like WWF or whatever. And there's a character that is meant to be an homage or parody of Dwayne Johnson called The Boulder, who talks of himself in the third person. He goes, "The Boulder is not sure what you're talking about." And then she ends up calling him the Pebble after she beats him. It is an absolutely hilarious episode. And she wipes the floor with these guys.
Yeah. Anyway, no new episode next week. Garrett, why don't you tell the people out there where they can find you at?
All right. Well, you guys can find me on Instagram and X at GKJ_publishing, where I talk about my books, The Archives of a Sink Ran, as well as my anthology, Midnight Playground. I also talk about my show, The Right Way, on YouTube, which just had its second episode this last Saturday, and I will be doing a brand new episode, a live stream on Saturday afternoon, this coming Saturday afternoon, where I will be reading a short story from Midnight Playground entitled Coco and a Shared Kiss. It's kind of a Christmassy Hallmark romance movie type scene, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm looking forward to reading that, as well as talking about some of the projects I have coming up over the next few weeks and months.
Right. All right. As for us right now, if you want to get a hold of us here at War of the Stars, you can email us warofthestars1@gmail.com. We are also on all other social media at War of the Stars 77. That is Blue Sky, Instagram, X, and YouTube. Yes, we do have a YouTube channel. Not a lot going on there right now, but we do have one. You can check out some of the old stuff there and some other fun stuff. Other than that, Ko-fi.com/War of the Stars if you want to support the show, or you can get our merch at our merch shop. That is spreadshirt.com/shop/War of the Stars. There's a dash between all of the war dash of the stars dash. Check that out. There's some cool merch there. We are a proud member of Feast of Fandoms. Check out all the shows of Feast of Fandoms. There are a lot, pretty much something for every fandom you can think of. That is, hence the name, Feast of Fandoms. That is about it. Check us out. Again, no new episode next week. We're going to take a little bit of a break. Remember, as always, not just my Star Wars, not just your Star Wars. This is our Star Wars. Until next time, may the Force be with you.